Hello and welcome to another episode of Strange Origins podcast. I think episode 21, and
Yes,
I'm
yes.
joined by my now lovely regular co-host, Rod.
Rodrigo.
Just Rod. Um,
Just right.
but yeah, no, I wanted to go straight into it and talk about how I know you've mentioned to me that you felt like kind of like nervous doing these, like
Yeah,
the last two episodes at least, like and you've like it's kind of been like something you haven't experienced before.
yeah, because I just hate I don't like speaking like in front of people, especially when it's being like in front of people or just
Like
being
public speaking
recorded.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I used to hate that when I was a kid in school as well. Only like especially because I used to stumble on my words and got like a
That's
slight
like
lisp and
me.
stuff like that. Like you get self conscious, you know.
Yeah, me I think it's more the fact that I would talk really fast and just like roll my R's. Sorry. Like just roll it, and then it's just like it just sounds like I'm imitating a person who can't speak proper English as an Asian
Right.
person, and it's like,
Yeah. Like for me, like when I'm talking, it's just usually like with my friends, I will talk really fast. And honestly, like I've heard like some of my conversations back on itself, and I make no sense. Like some of the things I'm saying, right, make no
yeah.
sense, but my friends understand exactly what I'm saying. So it
I
kind of
think it's because
it's weird, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's because they've known you long enough, so they're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but the problem is when you meet new people. So, for instance, at work or
yeah,
like an old friend, and you start talking to them normally, like how you would with your friends, they go, like I don't know what you're saying. Like I've actually had like two people come up to me at work and say like I don't know what you mean, like, and I'm like, oh shit, like I need to remember to talk like you know proper English,
yeah.
but
I think for me, it's like me and you people. I tend to be more quiet, and then once they start to like sort of come like to like basically talk to me more, that's when I'm more
yeah,
like
yeah,
confident. But like I still like sort of speed up
right,
because it's just naturally there. Like because I don't know that person, I just speed up, and they were
yeah.
like, "What are you talking about? Like where is this going?" I'm like,
And I
"Oh,
think that's why I got on
okay."
with you like better when I first met you, is because I kind of do the same. I talk fast and stuff like that, so it's fine to me.
Yeah.
But like,
Mm.
there are some people that I've met in my lifetime, like friends that I've met that just really speak really slowly, and it
Yeah.
irritates me. Like, you know,
Because
oh man,
it feels like they're just like slowing it down for you specifically.
yeah. And it's just like you know when you got a story to tell, and someone's
Yeah.
just going, so then we went outside, and I'm like, just get to the point. Like I can't. Like my time is precious. I can't sit around and wait.
It's like listening to like a what is it? One of those like book reading by like a
Yeah, like
celebrity
an
or something.
audiobook or something. And the worst part about it, right, is when the story that they tell is actually garbage. Like
Oh my
so when they
god.
finish and they expect like a big laugh, and I'm like, they were like, is that it? Like, did I waste 20 minutes of my life listening to
It's like
you?
you slowed it down and everything, and no one still got
Yeah. Oh, there's been a couple of times that that's happened, but
it.
like we got a friend as well. Let's see, Shishak actually. He's been on the podcast before, but
Oh,
what he likes to do sometimes is like finish what your sentence is, and I think it comes from the same vein of like I can't be waiting around for you to talk, like sort of thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like I've noticed he does it for like slower speaking people sometimes, so it's really funny to watch. And he's just like, yeah, come
Mm.
on, get to the point now. Like
I'm
we've had enough of this.
I'm pretty sure I've experienced that like at least once or twice meeting him. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
it is pretty funny to watch. But like,
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing that when I'm listening to my podcast back or something like that, and I'm going like, wow, like you really sound like that. Like, do you know what I mean? And I think like
yeah,
the first couple of episodes, I just had to get over it. Like Mark and I had to just completely get over it. Like we both hated how he sounded, but I think that's like everyone. But I know
yeah.
like with you,
I
you've done
agree. I
like
agree.
streaming before as well. Like
Mm.
and it doesn't. You weren't as nervous, which is weird
I
because
think
streaming is live.
yeah. I think it's because like I'm more focused on the game.
Right.
Like if I'm more focused on the game, I like there could be like a cat fight, and I'll be
Hmm.
like I'm still focused on the game.
Okay.
Like, but like I'll still take notice of the chat and like see what the feedbacks are. But like, yeah, I
I
think
think
just being
for me anyway, that what makes it different is like when you're recording something, like that shit's
yeah,
permanent. And if you
yeah,
mess
I
up,
guess,
that's on video log and all that stuff, and like it's out there sort of thing. Like yeah, of course
but
you can edit it,
yeah.
but like it's kind of like set in stone, and I think that is what makes me nervous sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, but I think at me at the same time it's like you have the power to either upload it or not upload it.
True.
and just like start again. Like, you know what I mean? So
But
it's like,
what if you don't notice the mistake until after the upload? Like that's the thing with me. If someone points it out and I'm like, ah, shit. Like if anyone's ever actually listened to this podcast on Spotify, you'll notice that it goes like episode like was it 18, 19,
from
and
16.
then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's because I had to upload them in a different order, and Spotify doesn't let you like change the order. So
Yeah, it's a
if
bit
anyone
weird,
that
to be
like wants to
honest.
see that weirdness, just go on Spotify like Strange Origins, and you'll see like it's just completely out of order, and it's annoying. I can't change it. It just annoys me so
Yeah.
much.
Because I remember you telling me, and I was like, wait, you're missing like 2 episodes. And then like I scrolled down, and I was like, wait, why is this 2 here?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like I had a few
uh,
people just like contact me and be like, "Hey, can we get like all of them on Spotify? Because we've only got like 2 episodes." And I was just like,
yeah.
"Yeah, sure, but like, do you know how hard that is? Like, do you know how hard that is to do? You literally like you've got to put like an RSS code and then you've got to completely upload it to a different website to upload it to Spotify." And I had to download and separate
Damn.
the audio for all of my videos to do that, and it was just so long.
I,
It
I
took me like
didn't
2
even know
days
this.
to do it all. And then like finally when I upload it, I'm like, oh good, done. I look at the order, I'm like, can I not change that? Oh great. So like that's how it's gonna be, I guess.
Yeah.
But but that brings
That's
me on to
funny.
like a different point of like anxiety and stuff. Like
Hmm.
how do you like try and do you get anxiety like much?
I get not as like severe as people, but I get like sort of, I don't know how to explain, but like almost like a performance anxiety when I'm playing games.
Okay.
Like like how to say, like when I'm playing with you, like I think naturally I just like sort of try not to like fuck up. So but when I fuck up, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is he gonna think about that? Like, I made a wrong play, all the other shit. I think I think that's just me,
Right.
like personally. I get anxiety in that
Like
section.
perfection sort of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
like especially that we play Tarkov, where like it's basically like heavy on your senses, right? And if you
Yeah.
fuck up, that's your fault most of the
Yeah.
time. And I get that, and it's like even if I'm doing like solo runs and stuff,
Yeah.
I get it. But I think what makes it worse is like when I'm duo with someone because
Mhm.
I'm like trying to impress in a way.
Yeah, I see
So
what you mean. Like
that's my anxiety, I guess. But yeah,
yeah, like I guess I have like kind of similar. Like I do want to play well, and so
yeah.
I think like not so much with you or anyone else. Like
See, see.
it's more like with new people. So if I'm playing with like a new person who's like in the friendship group or a new person who's playing games with us, I want to impress them and just show them that
See.
like I'm not crap basically.
Mm.
But like other anxiety like that I think like I've experienced lately anyway was like going outside, just in general. Like,
Ah,
and I think it's because
okay.
of all the pandemic and that. Like, I'm trying to go out for a walk like once a week sort of thing to sort
Yeah.
of like, because obviously I'm not working, so like I'm not really going outside. But like
Mm.
when you go outside and you just see like everyone around and you're like, because obviously I've had like COVID, so
Cheers.
it just I don't want it again. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like since having COVID, I feel a little bit more safer. If that sounds weird, it's like
That
I'm.
is a bit weird.
It's because I'm less likely to get it again. Of course, I can still get it again. I'm not gonna go out and do parties and
Yeah.
shit. But like, I am less likely. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm like, well, I've experienced like what it's like, and I'm less scared. Whereas before, I was so scared to go like near people. I would see
Yeah.
someone crossing like walking past the pathway and they were getting close to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you not know there's a pandemic going on, sort of thing?
Yeah, that's like because I've never had it. I've
Yeah,
not yet anyway. It's like going out for me. It's like I have to always double check everything. Like if I touch it, that means I'm gonna buy it. If I don't touch it, don't touch it
yeah, yeah.
because it's a high chance of me getting it that way. But like today, I went to the shop, right, and
Mm.
like so I went to the shop. I looked inside and there was like a bunch of people. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna wait outside like a normal human being because
Yeah.
it's a pandemic happening. And then this guy barges in, like literally just to go past and goes in.
Just oh my
I'm like,
god.
okay. So finally the group like thinned down a bit. So I went in and I just went like twice everywhere.
Yeah.
And he heard me. I looked at him. I was like, what? You're the one that's in the wrong. You're not, dude. The funny thing is, he wasn't even wearing a mask.
Oh my
That's
god.
what that's what tilted me the most. It's like
It tilts me a lot because like we're a year into this pandemic.
exactly, and it fully frustrates me. I'm like you have the audacity to push and not even wear a mask when it clearly says in the front of the shop, please wear a mask.
You know,
And I'm
like
like,
the only way you can liken
oh,
it, right, is kind of
yeah,
like to a seatbelt, right?
mm.
But the difference
Is that,
is
yeah,
if you don't like if the difference is with the mask is if you don't wear this seatbelt, for say for instance, it would kill
yeah,
somebody else as well. But they
exactly.
don't see that. It's just sort of like, why should I wear a mask? I don't see why I should wear a mask. And it's like, I don't understand. It's not that much of an
Yeah,
inconvenience. Like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
really not.
it's really bad. Like,
Uh,
and I just
we're a
it
year in and
frustrates me when I go home.
we're still happening. That shit's still happening. Like, and then they
Mm.
go, oh, I'm exempt, which, you know, I don't
If
know
you're
about
exempt,
that. Like, if you're exempt, you shouldn't even be out really. But like,
yeah.
I don't know.
But
Yeah, like with
it's weird,
but
man.
that's what sort of gives me anxiety as well. Though, is like
Yeah,
what you go out and you go, oh, I double check things like what I can and can't touch, and door
yeah,
handles and stuff like that. But like, let's say you do buy like a mango or something like that, you picked out, somebody else has touched that.
yeah.
If
That's the problem.
guaranteed, like at least three people have touched that.
Mm.
So it's just
And
like and you don't know the amount of like dickheads who go into a shop, pick up a mango, go, actually, no, I don't really want that one, put it back down.
exactly,
Like so
exactly.
many people will do that. You don't
And like,
understand because like the whole thing about picking fruit is like picking the one that's firm and all that stuff, and or depending on the fruit. So like it's
yeah,
knowing which one to pick, and you can't do that without touching it.
exactly. It's the feel, like it's ripe.
But what I would do is grab one of those little plastic bags, put it around your hand, and
Exactly.
then
Thank
grab it,
you.
right?
Thank
But
you.
the amount of people I've
Exactly.
gone to Lidl and I've just seen people just pick up, go, no, not this one, no, not this one. Oh, this one's good. I'm like, well, now
Oh
if you have
my.
COVID, you now have just spread it to like loads of other people.
Yeah. I do know what's worse. I've seen people do this, right?
Yeah.
They literally pick up their hands with, I mean, they pick up their croissant with their bare
Oh my
hands.
god.
I'm like, bro, there's a tongue right there. Use that. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, and like I've literally seen one. Oh my god, this one killed me. I've seen one where she literally picked it up, smelt it,
Oh my
and
god.
she made this funny face. I'm like she didn't
And
want it, and then
she
just
put
puts
it
it back
back.
down. I'm like, oh my
See,
god,
like, but the thing is, so
you should be banned.
these things, right, were horrible and looked down upon even before the pandemic. With
Yeah,
a pandemic,
exactly,
it's even worse. It's like, come on now.
exactly.
Like, at least with a fruit, you can wash it, and you're meant to wash them.
Mm,
You can't wash a
yeah.
croissant, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
In
what
a
the fuck?
soggy ass croissant.
Yeah, let me just put this through the dishwasher or something. uh, but
That's
like,
oh god.
I was thinking the other day about like anxiety and stuff. Like, I don't really get it
Mm,
too much as, well, I'm definitely not as severe as some people. Like, and
yeah,
the fact that I'm going out is showing that it's not that bad. But like
yeah,
with going out in general, I was when had a walk the other day, I walked past like a mother and her like child, like
yeah.
the child must have been about like 7 or 8, and the child gave me like a proper wide berth, and it got me thinking, like, I wonder how much this is going to affect that generation of kids. So like,
Yeah.
for instance, like, if that kid was to accidentally walk close to me, I'm sure the mother would have, scolded the child a little bit and be like, no, 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 you
Yeah,
can't walk that far, like close to people. Like, how much
exactly.
is
Yeah.
that going to go into their psychology of a kid
That.
growing up and going like, I can't be near people, I shouldn't be near people. Like back in the day, I wasn't near people when I was going to school anyway, and I had like
Okay.
a socially stunted sort of like thing. I couldn't really talk to people that well. Like, how much is that going to
Yeah.
affect kids now? Is what I'm thinking. Like, not so much like the 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds because they're still doing schools online. They have WhatsApp and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But like the 7 or 8-year-olds and
Yeah. Toddlers and stuff.
yeah, the
Yeah.
ones that can't really use WhatsApp and stuff like that. So are they going to grow up with like this really bad like social skills? I'm wondering. Like, it got me thinking about that. Like, they're the ones that might suffer from this like long-term effects, depending on how long this goes on for.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Ah.
what do you think about that? Do you think it's going to affect them like
I
in that
think it's
negative
good.
way?
I think so. I think it'll make them more like sort of like cautious of people,
Hmm.
like more cautious. Like I think they'll become like an indoor introvert, like what they have in like Japan, where they're called hikikomoris. Like they're
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
afraid to go out the world, so they just basically stay indoors
Like,
most of the
yeah, for
time.
anyone who doesn't know, like,
And
it's basically like a person who literally doesn't go outdoors, like, at all. It's like being in lockdown 24/7. They get all their
yeah,
food brought to them. Like, any needs that they need, like, will be done online or like left at the
yeah,
door. Like, they won't go outside. And I
mm,
don't think it's gonna be that severe, but like, because if
it's a
anything,
possibility.
it is, yeah. And if anything, like, children are malleable, they will like
Yeah,
adapt. But like, I'm wondering if in the back of their head, like subconsciously, they will not be close to people because of
yeah.
this. You know?
And also, like, I think it's because I said, the parents would like naturally be like, yeah, don't go near
Oh
people,
yeah, especially at the beginning.
especially at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, at the
So I
beginning of the
think they'll have that at the
pandemic.
back of their head. Yeah.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, like where it was scary. Like you didn't know what the fucking virus was. Like, and
Exactly.
so imagine that if I was a parent, I'd be like, no, don't you fucking dare go near that person. Like you don't know what they've got. Like,
Yeah.
and it kind of like leads into like, you know, a different effect of it of like how it's gonna impact people because I think the most people that are affected are the older people who can't talk to people online because like we're good, we play games and stuff
Yeah.
like we talk to each other like pretty much every day like over Discord, but
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't have that who play games, and the older people don't have that, and the toddlers don't have that. So I'm wondering if those are the
Yeah.
two affected generations. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me think like how much it's going to like stunt the not the next generation, I guess, but the generation after. But on the flip side, I don't know. Like maybe it will be completely nothing, and you know, weird or delicate ones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of thinking too much
No,
about it.
I think we're fine, to be honest, because as you said, we have online to do things, right? Like,
Yeah.
like the reason why I think is bad for older generations because, like, especially my dad,
Mm.
he used to go out like walks like to the park like every day, right,
Yeah.
before the pandemic, and now that he can't do that, it's like I see him like legit getting bored and just watching news and just staring into space, like
Mm.
it's just like it's empty, and it's like I could see like because he doesn't like really like talk to people and stuff like that, but he wants that freedom.
Yeah, of
But because he
course.
doesn't have that freedom, he doesn't know how to react.
Yeah, because like
Like
for
so,
me, like it's starting to get to me now, the pandemic thing. Like,
oh
and
yeah,
it's
definitely.
only after like a year that that's happened, right?
Mm,
Where I'm like, okay, now I would actually like to probably go outside and socialize a bit, which is I'm lucky,
mm,
like you know, or I'm happy that summer's coming up, but like at the same time, like because you can't do anything outdoors like in the winter, but like you know, like I was good for a year, so I can't imagine what it's like for people that don't have like gaming and all that stuff to do.
exactly,
Like they
yeah,
must be bored out of their mind. Like I don't know what they're doing. Like obviously, if you got work, then that's okay. But like you can't just
yeah,
have work in your life. You have to have leisure. And like
yeah.
people just
Totally
not
agree.
doing anything. Like just like you said, your dad like just staring at walls, reading newspaper and stuff. Like it's really difficult.
Yeah. It's,
And I think I touched upon it in like the last episode, where it's like
oh yeah,
how
yeah,
do you like better yourself?
yeah.
Like it when you can't go to work and you can't do certain things and social interactions, you can't better yourself as a human. You know,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Mm.
Like, yeah, and there was other like things you want to say about like anxiety, or not so much anxiety, but about the pandemic, right?
Yeah, so I was like, I wonder if like after the whole pandemic, will people still wear masks? Like even though like if they're ill and they're going to work, I wonder if that's going to be sort of like the social norm, like what's in Asia, like in Japan, China,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna go that route
I think
and
we
not
should
be like
honestly.
yeah, because let me see, because I remember before the pandemic, right? So I wore a mask because I had a cold on my lip,
Mm,
right? And I didn't want anyone seeing it. And then for some reason, I got this funny look. Like, why the fuck are you wearing that?
mm.
Like, it's that look of like, is it trying to be different? Is it trying to be special?
Do you
And
know? Do you
then,
know what it is? Like I remember having a discussion with Mark. Like a lot of
yeah,
people didn't understand. At least I'm gonna. I guess I'll talk for most people in England, right? Like
see,
which I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Like
okay,
at least from my perspective, a lot of people in England thought that when the Asian culture like wore like masks, they were wearing it because they didn't want to catch something from you. And I
no,
think
it's because
that no, I
yeah,
know the reason why
okay,
now.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's the misconception. It's like, oh, you think I'm dirty? Oh, you think I'm ill? And like
yeah,
very defensive. Like English people are very defensive. Like so, like
yeah,
when it comes to that sort of thing, like when and I remember explaining to a lot of people that it's like, no, it's because they're ill and they don't want to get you infected. They're being nice,
exa exactly,
you know.
exactly. So I wonder if like the Western society will go through that route of like if you're ill, you're going to work, you should at least be considerate of others and like wear a mask, you
I
know?
mean, honestly, they should because if you look at like the
Yeah,
figures for like Taiwan, they're actually like really good, but like, and they haven't had that many deaths because
exactly.
they've already had that system in place of like wearing masks where we
Just
don't.
naturally,
Yeah,
like like, it wasn't told or anything.
you
So
know
I wonder if we're gonna go down that route. Go.
yeah, it does just kind of annoy me because bringing back to the mask situation and how people aren't
Mm.
wearing them, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
what it's what's annoying to me is like it doesn't matter. Let's just say for instance, right, it doesn't work. Let's just
Mm.
say the rate that it lowers is negligible. Doesn't do anything.
See.
It doesn't hurt you still to wear it.
Exactly.
This is what I don't understand. Like, even if it did drop the risk by 0.01%, that's still more than doing nothing.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I really don't understand people's logic when they say, like, because I told you, I don't know if I said the story on podcast, but I'm gonna say it again. I went into a McDonald's and there was a man there yelling about like not having to wear a mask. Like, the worker came up to him and was like, "Mate, can you just please put on a mask? Everyone's wearing a mask. Can you please do it?" And he goes, "Well, mate, no, I'm not gonna wear a mask. You're breathing in your own dirty air." And like,
Yeah, but
it's your air. Like, you're breathing it. Like, it's from your lungs. The reason you wear a mask is because I don't want to breathe your dirty air.
yeah, you could be carrying like the virus.
And that's pretty much what the guy said. He was like, "But it's your air." And then he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but then you get all these like spots around your mouth." And I'm like, "So you'd rather kill people than have spots around your mouth?" Like,
and it's just people are suffering, like with spots around their face and like
Yeah.
having like you can't wear a fucking mask just to go into a shop
you know,
or to go to
poor
a
old
restaurant.
Jimmy, who's like 70 years old, dying in the hospital like from breathing. Oh no, sorry, you're not
Exactly.
really suffering. I've got spots on my mouth. It's actually worse. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he was just shouting about it like he was proud. Like, that was the thing. He was like, he was proud about
my
not wearing a
God, I
mask.
hate
Like,
that.
and he's like, "Oh, all you people are like sheep." And I'm like, "I'm just trying to get chicken nuggets, man." Like, I was in McDonald's.
Turn back to the chicken nuggets.
That's all I wanted. And it's just like, you know what I
But-
mean? Like, you're standing in a McDonald's, you're ordering
Yeah.
from afar, you're following all the rules but one, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's almost like those people are like, you know, when you say to a child, "It's like, go to bed," and that's like, I was gonna go to bed anyway. I'm not doing it because you
Yeah.
told me. It's like that.
The
Like,
sus.
it's just like you're just a child. Just put the
Yeah.
mask on.
And you know what? Like I get it. You don't want to wear a mask, but the least you could do, right, is when you go into the shop, wear the mask. But then when you're outside and there's no one around you, you can put it down.
Yeah.
Fine, that works for me. But at least when you go into like public spaces where like a lot of people is there, just
Yeah.
wear it, bro, for like
Just
2 minutes.
wear it.
Just wear it.
Like, I
In
actually,
and out. That's it.
I actually read that like was it in the US recently? I think it was just today actually that the Supreme Court has ruled that America's not allowed to close down churches, and like that's in regards of,
What?
to lockdown. So if the lockdown happens, they're not allowed to close churches. The churches will be allowed to stay open. So
What
it's
makes
like,
it?
do you know what I mean? It's like, are you guys
What?
serious? And then and you should read it. Like, I should really stop reading Twitter. But like, the comments underneath are just like, you see how they're only coming for churches, and I was like, no, they're not. They're really not. They're coming for everywhere that has an enclosed space. Do you not understand?
Oh my God, what makes churches so special?
It doesn't. It's just close it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
And then, but yeah, I don't know. But like, the good news
Tragic.
is at least we're getting the vaccine. I think like England
yeah.
is one of the closest, or actually fastest, like vaccination places at the moment in the world. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
like my brother was gonna get or got invited to get the vaccine, I guess, and
See.
his like, appointment was at like 8:04, and he said to the woman
Oh.
like, "That's oddly specific. Like, why is it so specific?" And she's like, "Oh, because we're doing one a minute." And I was like, "Holy
Jesus
crap!"
Christ.
It's like a
That-
McDonald's drive-through. Like, they're
Yeah,
they're proper
Jesus.
just like, you drive up, stab you in, I'm done. You wait 15 minutes around the corner. I think it's like 15 minutes, 30 minutes you have to wait because just in case you have a reaction, and then you're off. You're off your clock. That's it.
Yeah, that's like when my dad got invited to do his one. It was like literally, apparently he just went in there. There was like a line of them.
Yeah.
So they didn't have any like lines going outside. They just basically had a line of nurses
Okay.
just jabbing people one
Yeah,
every
that's what
minute.
it
Like you
is.
said.
Like,
And I was like, what the fuck? It was like a fast food.
pretty much, and like,
Yeah.
and I remember saying to you actually, like today, like it's kind of weird because I guess I didn't really think about it till today that we're all gonna have to get this vaccine. Like, I know
Yeah.
that sounds so dumb. Like, obviously we're all gonna have to get the vaccine, but like when you stop and think about it for a second, you go like eventually I will have to do this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird that they're like rolling it out to like what 60, 70 million people in the UK like so quickly. It is quite impressive, but I mean, you know, I'm not like apprehensive. I'm just like, holy shit, like, you know, it hasn't really sunken in yet. I'm gonna have to take it.
Do it at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
we haven't seen anything
Well,
like this in our generation, I guess.
nah, it's definitely once in a lifetime, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd say. But I'm actually glad that they're doing it like people who are over like 50, and they're actually like trying to set out like a roadmap
Yeah, because
of like
what's the other countries? Is it Israel? I think it's
Israel?
Israel that are vaccinating the working age first, not the elderly.
Yeah.
Which is an
Ah,
interesting way of doing it. But I still think
yeah.
like I do respect the fact that the UK is at least vaccinating the vulnerable first. Like it shows where their
Yeah.
priorities lie. You know,
Yeah.
like helping the sick first rather than helping the money side of it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 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 But for me, it's like after all that, for what gets to me is like them trying to open, like ease up the lockdown.
Yeah. So isn't
And
it? Isn't it April? Is it April
yeah,
that pubs
no,
are
no,
going to
no.
be
They said,
opening up again?
is it April? I thought it was May.
Oh God, I think it's April, mate. Like,
Oh,
I think it could be as
Jesus
early as April. That
Christ.
apparently pubs won't have to serve a substantial meal anymore to serve alcohol, and it's because of the figure
Okay.
of like 1 in 5 people have been vaccinated right
Yeah.
now. Which, cool, but are you guys sure you want to do this thing again? Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like the third time now, like that we've done
Do you
this.
want to?
Like,
Do you really want a fourth time? Like,
was it like the
like
definition of insanity? Is like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result or a different
yeah,
result.
yeah, and it's like I've noticed that like I looked at what is it? Scientists like they're trying to stop the whole like lifting it up like way too like
Like
quickly
early, yeah.
because
Because
it's like you could still get it. That's the problem, and still spread it.
this is what
That's
I'm
that's
scared
the main
about. Like,
concern.
like they're releasing these figures about the UK saying like this many people are vaccinated. How fucking cool is that? It's like, well,
Yeah,
they're not actually vaccinated though, because you need a second dose.
yeah. You
So
just
1 in 5 people have had their first dose of vaccination, yeah, but they're not vaccinated.
hmm,
Like it isn't completed yet. Like so, you opening up all of the things, it's like kind of stupid still because even though I've had COVID, I can still get it. I
yeah.
think. Like, and if I have the first booster shot, I can still get it. It
Hmm.
doesn't mean I'm completely immune. It just means I'm less likely. It doesn't mean like this will just end.
See. I think like the statistics is like after like 10 million been vaccinated, right?
Mm,
And I think like 19,000 it's been reported new cases after like 24 hours of getting vaccinated.
really,
So it's like
because it's still
it's still spreading. Like there's no point of you easing it up just because like a lot of people like 1 in 5 or 5 to 1 you said
yeah. If I
is
every
vaccinated.
yeah every one
You
in five
can't
people.
just lift it up that easy, bro. Like you need to like at least have the second dosage out and then start lifting up slowly.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
what I'm surprised at is like, didn't he say like by May or end of May that
yeah,
all over 50s would have been vaccinated as well? Which is like,
that, that's what getting confused
what
about.
I'm
Yeah.
what I'm getting worried about is that they're throwing
Mm.
around this term vaccinated, and they're not vaccinated. They're not fully vaccinated yet.
It's like half.
It's half. It's not fully done yet. Like like with cancer and stuff, you wouldn't just like give them chemo and just go, oh, you're cancer free. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
work like that. You have to like do all of the treatments.
it's an ongoing battle.
Yeah, so like it's the same with this. You have to have both of the doses to be like I guess clinically say it's like called vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about it, but at the end of the day, like I can't really do anything about it apart from just stay in my home and do what I've been doing since the
Yeah.
beginning of the fucking lockdown.
I had
So
like the common sense basically.
yeah, to not touch
And
mangoes
the
with your bare
fucking
hand. Like, oh
God.
god, it's
But
tilting.
yeah.
I have found
Man.
myself getting more and more like annoyed and angry since the lockdown. So I don't know if it's like because I've stayed in looking at my four walls, or because of like I've just seen like Twitter and stuff like that brings to light the idiots, and
Yeah.
you see
I
them.
agree. I agree.
Like I remember saying to you the other day, like that the problem with social media is it gives everybody a voice. So when you give everybody a voice, like people go, oh, there's a lot more idiots about nowadays. It's like no, they just didn't have a voice before.
Yeah.
Now
And
everyone's got a phone; they can say whatever they think.
yeah. And we're not saying that like just because you have this platform that you can't voice your opinion. Cool. But
No,
it's like
yeah,
don't be spreading like
misinformation.
bullshit. Yeah, bullshit information out there
Like
and like infecting other people.
there's another one
And
I saw. Like it was on Twitter, and there was a TikTok
mm,
video of a girl getting vaccinated. And
yeah.
then in one of the like in the video right at the end, you see the needle like disappear, and the guy was like, "Oh my god, they left the needle in her arm. Like, don't get the vaccine, stuff like that." And then the
My
doctor right
God.
came on and was like, "Actually, these are the new injectors that
It just don't that
once
goes
you
inside, right?
once you've done the plunger, yeah, the needle goes
Yeah.
back into the syringe, so they don't accidentally stab
Smart.
themselves." And like,
Yeah,
do you see how
smart.
quick though? that misinformation can spread, like, because on TikTok, like, it spreads like wildfire. I mean, look, everyone thought that, like, what was it, Kanye West has had an affair with, like, with, like, a man. And that was all because TikTok just, like, had one video of one girl going, oh, I've got sources. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And it's like, it blew up like wildfire.
Yeah,
So,
it was crazy.
they really need to, like, I don't know, stop. People need to stop. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And like, I'm pretty sure I told you this story before about when I was working, basically. I had this guy, right,
Mm.
talking to me like that. Oh, he doesn't believe in the whole vaccine, like the whole coronavirus,
Yeah.
because of like statistics number around the world. But I'm like, and also like he said like, oh, because on Facebook and it says this and this, like if you get the vaccination, it's gonna cause this. I'm like,
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck are you talking about?
You
I'm
know,
pretty sure he told me, he was like, if you get it's like because you can't be the carrier because you also carry white blood cells and fights off the thing. But I'm like, it doesn't fucking work that way.
it's like, but do you
It
know,
doesn't.
the funny thing is that those people have read, like, maybe a little bit about biology, but not enough to understand it.
Mm.
And it's like, they go, oh, no, I'm right. And it's just like, well, you know, the point of science is to get everybody's opinion so you can find out if you're right or wrong. What you've done is just formed your own opinion and said you're right.
Yeah, and spread misinformation everywhere.
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
man.
there's still people out there that think the Holocaust didn't happen. So.
Oh, Jesus Lord! I heard about that. I saw that on a fucking tweet,
I
and
don't
I'm like,
understand this world.
oh.
I mean, there's people that think the world is flat, that we're on the back of a giant turtle, all this shit. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a good place to end it. Like, we're not even real. This podcast doesn't
Yeah.
exist. Like,
we're all we're like a simulation of
yeah,
Sims
exactly. This is just the
for the
Matrix.
higher beings.
But this has been Strange Origins podcast with me and Rod.
Hello.
We're on Spotify, on YouTube,
Yep.
and give us a like if you enjoyed it.
Mm.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.